Hello, if you don't know who I am, I'm Neri and I run this account, and I wanted to try to make a video where I go through my drawing process and then explain how I get to certain steps and how I decide colors and composition, finishing touches and all that stuff. So in this video I'm going to go over these two pieces here and explain where I got my ideas from, how and how I did everything. So to start with, I'm gonna do this piece from my Draw This in Your Style. As you can see, the composition is a really perspective, and that's I would say it's difficult if you're okay, well obviously it's difficult when you're just starting out because you're not drawing something straight on. You're not drawing something from a perspective that you're normally comfortable with, and it's really difficult to know how to do foreshortening and how to place everything in a way that makes sense to look at. But then it's you have to experiment because especially this piece, as you can see, it's not a normal kind of perspective. It's everything is kind of stretched a little bit because it just looks cool. I don't know. I would say there's a lot of art that's like this, where it's not your traditional kind of perspective, and it's this kind of bent in a certain way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through my time lapse and kind of explain my process and talk about how I got here. So let's start with this. Okay, so yeah, so here you can see that I'm blocking out how I want them to be placed on the canvas. So usually I have two methods of sketching out my drawings. There's this method where I block everything out in color, and then I also use this other method where I just sketch it normally. I think both work, and I kind of switch between the two, but I've been starting to use this method more with the blocking out because it helps you to see the silhouette of the piece, which is helpful if you're trying to do proportions correctly, because if you're just sketching it, you could have more of a chance for you to get proportions wrong. So let's continue. Yeah, I was gonna put Toya like that, but then I changed him because I didn't feel like drawing that. Yep. Okay, yeah, and then I just kind of I already had this idea in mind where I wanted to use the things in the game. It's called trussing apparently. I had no idea. I had to look that up. So I had this idea where I wanted them to be surrounded by the trussing and sitting on it. So I kind of just you see how I bent the ones on the side because I wanted it to curve, because I wanted your eye to focus on the two most important parts of the piece, which were Toya and Akito. So yup. And usually I tilt my pieces now, so you can see that it's not it is in perspective, but it's not straight on. There's a tilt to it. Yeah, let's continue. Ooh, I'm gonna skip. Okay, so you see how I went from the sketch where it's not very clear, but I already had an idea as to how I wanted his legs to work. I don't really know how to explain this step. It's kind of just something I know how to do, I guess. You can look up foreshortening tutorials. It's just how limbs get shorter as the perspective changes, as the way you look at it. So you see how his leg is not leg sized, it's weird and stubby because of the perspective that you're looking at his leg, you know? So moving on, just sketching. Yup. Okay, and then yeah, here's where I start coloring. So I already knew that I wanted this to be like a grayscale kind of thing, and then I wanted only orange and blue colors to be present. So I started by coloring it in gray. Normally I don't do that, but just because of the way I wanted it to be. And then I did like basic lighting. So you see the lighting is like behind Toya and then shining onto them. And then I colored, oh, well, okay, sorry. And then I did some like basic coloring, filling in. And then from here, I kind of just adjusted everything and cleaned everything up. Refined the shadows and the colors. Oh, that's a big jump. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So it's just like a matter of choosing your light source and then refining your shadows based off that. I know you would probably hear this a lot if you watch like a lot of art tutorials. Sorry, I don't have any more tips. This is just what I know. And then so I played around with the colors. You can see like the jump. This is like kind of desaturated, but I thought that it was kind of like too light. So then I saturated the colors more, and then I continued to refine. This is all in like one layer, by the way. If you know me, you know I'm crazy, and then I'm super risky, and then I merge all my layers in paint. I'm just gonna skip ahead. Refining, details, rendering. Oh, yeah. And then I realized that I actually colored Toya's jacket wrong. It's supposed to be white, but I made it gray at first, so I had to change it brighter. Then I did the background and finishing details. Yay! So that's how I made this piece. Woohoo! And then now I'm going to move on to this other piece that I made. This is for Tsukasa's birthday. I actually drew this like a while ago because I thought I would be late because I had exams, but then I actually finished it in like one day. Don't do that to yourself. That was really not healthy for me, but I did it anyway, so let's move on. This one actually surprisingly took less time than the Draw in Your Style one. I don't know how, it just did, but like cool, I guess. So for this one, I also already had an idea in my mind. I wanted him to be like, actually no, wait, I didn't, wait. This is my time lapse. I should just do that instead. Okay, so you can see I like started to sketch out, and then it's like different because I wasn't too sure how I wanted to do this piece yet, but then like I was hit with a sudden wave of inspiration or something, I don't know, and then I had the idea for like the finished one that you see now. So then I like did the blocking thing again, and then I was like, oh, I want him to be jumping, so I did his head first, and then I did the torso, and I was like, oh, I want his arm to be up, so then I did that, and then I really love perspective and foreshortening, which is kind of weird, but that's me. So I drew his leg like that, and then oh yeah, and then I turned it because composition, turning, tilting, wow, cool, makes everything look nice. Okay, so then I was like, I want to include the rest of Wondashow in here, and then I drew Ruri's hand first because and then I drew Emu's hair, and then Nene's feet because I wanted to include Wondashow, but I wanted it to really focus on Tsukasa, so I put him in the center, and then everyone else is just like surrounding him. And then you can see by his flag, I like used it to like shape out, like I rounded out the canvas so that you would focus on the center, which is Tsukasa. Sketching. This is just me sketching. Hello, Fanny. And then I started with my more refined sketch. Resizing. Okay, and then I filled it in with gray, which I also don't normally do, but I was trying to experiment with this piece and like try different new methods of coloring to see like if something was like quicker or something. So usually I would actually just fill it in with the skin color, but I did it in gray this time. I don't really know if there's a difference, but I just noticed that a lot of like artists would fill it in with gray first. So I had this lighting idea in mind where I wanted it to be like well lit by the sun in the back, but then also like there's a lot of blue because there's the blue sky, the blue background, and then Kosa likes blue, so anyway. I filled it in with this like really bright color because this is what I wanted to be like the skin color that's hit by the sun, you know? And then I started filling in shadows, like just blocking it out. Oh, whoa, big jump, okay. Blocking out the shadows, and then I changed it to blue because, as I said in the other video, the first one that I made, the sun has warm light, so the absence of the sun, which is our shadows, would have a blue light because that's the sky filling in for the absence of the sun's warm light. You can find a lot more videos explaining this if you like search of like lighting tutorials. I just do this because I have knowledge of it. So continuing on, then I colored in like, I started coloring the rest of the drawing. Yep. And then I like switch between doing the background and the foreground. It helps me like place things and like determine colors, because if you have the background already done, then you can like work on making the characters fit to the lighting and the colors of the background. Or you can do the other way, where you can make the background fit to the characters. Both are good. I feel like some people usually do the background first, just because I think it's like easier or like quicker, because you already have like a background thought out, and then like you just have to make your characters fit rather than making the whole background fit around your character. But I usually like switch between them. Like I work a little bit on the characters, then I work a little bit on the background, and then I like go back and forth. So anyway, I think I've made a big jump here. Okay, and then I just did more refining. I made these shadows darker because I thought they were too light. That's it. No secrets. And then I just filled in that stuff, and then I started rendering. So I started with Emu's hair, then I worked on Tsukasa a little bit. I just did that because I want him to be bigger. And I just worked on his shirt here. And then just like rendering. I hate rendering clothes. And then I did his iconic flag because there is no Tenma Tsukasa without his flag. And then I added like flower petals because I was like, this is kind of boring, so I wanted to fill it in with some more stuff. I did the background here. It's kind of hard to see because of the bar at the bottom. Sorry. I just like, at first I wasn't sure what I wanted to make it, but then I just decided to make it like the Wonderland Sekai. So then I did the I don't know what you call those, aurora lights. And then I wanted to put in some balloons and some clouds. which I like barely rendered because I didn't care and I was tired. More rendering. Oh yeah, and then you see how his outfit is like from the 4th anniversary art? So I just was like, I just put some flowers in there from the giant bouquet that he's holding. Petals, leaves. Yeah, fine details. Oh yeah, just fine details. The flowers that I almost forgot on his shirt and Rui's shirt. And yeah, so that's it. That's my process for these 2 pieces. I hope this video was helpful in some way. I tried my best to explain how I got from my idea to the finished piece, and I hope that you found it helpful too. And I just want to say that just because I do things a certain way doesn't necessarily mean that you will find it helpful, but I hope that you do. And I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you look forward to some new ones in the future. If you have any questions or ideas for my next video, please comment and I will read them. Yay, see you!